So here I am at 596 miles for my first oil change. Here's the parts you'll need. You'll need 5 quarts of motor oil. This is Honda brand. It's 10W40. And I got this and also another quart to go along with it. This is only 4 quarts here, so it takes 1 more quart. Altogether it takes 4.4. You'll have a little bit left over when you're done changing the oil. This is the DCT clutch filter. It's 15412-MGS-D21, and the parts clerk there told me that this filter fits all of the DCTs in Honda. And then here is the oil filter, and it is a XL10A. Here is the 2 drain plugs that you remove to drain the oil. They both are 12 millimeter. Here's the one up front, and then here's one towards the rear on the left side of the motorcycle. Removing the front one, I've loosened it up with my 12 millimeter ratchet, and all I have to do is reach in there by hand now and drain it into my pan. I just unscrew it and drain it into the pan. There it goes, coming out. My understanding is between the engine and the transmission, it uses 4.4 quarts of motor oil. The stuff I got today was all from the Honda dealer. Cost roughly 60 bucks. And then when it's done draining, the drain plug goes back in. There we go. Okay, it's all the way in by hand. Good, now let's tighten it up, and I'm done with the draining. I've already drained the other plug that I showed you, the one on the left side of the bike. I already changed the oil filter and somehow didn't get it recorded, but here's the oil filter on the front, and I used these pliers here to get the old one off, and it was fairly tight. They have an O-ring in there instead of the usual gasket similar to you see on most car oil changes, but it basically works the same way. To get off the side case so that you can change the clutch filter, there's 4 bolts to remove in the large panel here and 2 bolts to remove in a small panel. Small panel comes off first, and there's the 2 bolts there. And the large panel comes off by these 2 screws back here at the back, and this one and this one in the front. They all use a 5 millimeter hex head. On the back of the plate are some washers to help keep the plastic from tearing up, so be sure that you don't lose those. There's 4 of them. To remove the clutch filter, you would remove these 2 8 millimeter bolts right here. Inside is an O-ring that goes around, and then there's a spring that holds the filter in, and then the filter comes out fairly easily. Okay, I've loosened up these 8 millimeter bolts, and all I got to do now is take those out to access the clutch filter. I have to hold in there's a spring behind it that kind of wants to jam things, so I have to kind of hold it with my thumb while I'm getting this other bolt out here. You'll see what I mean in just a second. Okay, there's the second bolt out, and then the cover comes off, and there's a spring behind it right there. Fits in that's the filter, it fits in the hole in the filter and then fits into this also. And then the way you get out that filter is there's a little groove on the outside edges over here. Put a couple of screwdrivers in there and then just pull it towards you. There, like that. Oops. And the filter supposed to be yellowish. The new one looks something like this. The Honda number for the filter is 15412-MGS-D21, and the salesman told me that this fits all of the DCT transmissions. It simply slides in first like this. See, there's a rubber grommet on one side that goes in first, like that. Then the spring. Now the cap, as you can see, has a O-ring on it. O-ring should be replaced each time if you can get a hold of one. They did not have one this time, so hopefully it's not going to give me trouble. One side in. And now the other side in. And let's see if I can do it a little bit faster. Nope. It wants to go in evenly. Let's put this side in first, all the way, and that'll hold it down flat without tightening the other side up. There, that should hold it down a little bit better. Let's see. Yeah, there we go, and tighten that down a little bit, and then tighten that one down a little bit. Not too much, just a touch. Replacing the clutch cover. Slides in at an angle like this. Back down and behind there. And then goes backwards like that. Then all you gotta do is replace the 4 Allen bolts. Goes with it. Holding down the brake lever a little bit so it goes in a little easier. Okay, those are in now, so I can tighten it up a bit. And then the same thing for the back ones over here. Had it all the way there, and then I thought something might be wrong. There we go. Do this a little further by hand if I need to. Should go faster if I do it. That one's already tight pretty much. Okay. There. So it's all 4 of those in and tightened down. And now I got to put the little cover on that goes right here over this. And this takes the 5mm screw Allen wrench also. There we go. There's one started. And there is the other one started. Okay. Awful lot of threads on these for just something to hold a piece of plastic. And before I get them tightened all the way down, I'll wheel it, make sure they're not all the way in the hole properly. They look like they are. Okay. And tighten this a little bit. There we go. And tighten that one a little bit. Okay. And we're all done with the changing of the clutch filter. The oil is put in the engine through the oil filter cap right here. It just unscrews by hand. This one over here, the small one, is the dipstick. You screw it all the way out and push it back in, but do not screw it in to check the oil with the motorcycle level and balanced. And they'll tell you when it's full. All right, I filled it all the way up with the 4-quart container and put my dipstick back in without screwing it all the way in, without screwing it in at all. And the oil comes up to just about right there. I have not started the engine up to distribute the oil around, so I suspect it's going to be down. I'll have to put some more in. I'm going to check it and make sure. Put it in gear, hold it on the brake a little bit, give a little bit of gas. And that should distribute the oil up through the filter in the transmission. Okay, with just using the 4 quarts of oil, it comes to right about, show you the other hand here, comes about right there, but all the oil to get with 4 quarts. So to bring it up to here, it's going to take part of that other quart. Okay, with that half of that single quart in by itself, it comes exactly to the upper mark like it's supposed to. You can see that shine or not, reflection or not. Anyway, it takes 4.5 quarts basically, 4.4.